Good morning, students. We are going to start with new chapter of NCERT, that is human reproduction. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about male reproductive system. So let's begin. Human male reproductive system comprises of three parts: primary sex organ, secondary or accessory sex organs, external genitalia. Primary sex organ is a pair of testes. Secondary or accessory sex organ comprises of ducts and glands. External genitalia is penis. Now focus on the secondary sex organ comprises of ducts and glands. These ducts are very important because they are meant to transfer sperm from the testes to the external genitalia. These ducts are very important, and these glands are going to provide all sort of nourishment for the development of the sperm as well as motility of the sperm. So these glands are also very important. Accessory ducts are retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. Accessory glands are seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland, which is also referred as Copper's gland. Okay. Now look over the diagram of the male reproductive system. Here you can see a pair of testes which are being present outside the abdominal cavity in a sac-like structure which is referred as scrotum. And testes are being covered with a thick membranous structure which is fibrous in nature, referred as tunica albuginea. And inside the testes you can observe some cylindrical tube-like structure. These are referred as testicular lobules. And inside these testicular lobules are 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules. And testicular lobules are going to terminate into the retitestis. Retitestis are going to terminate into the vasa efferentia, and vasa efferentia is going to terminate into the highly coiled structure which is referred as epididymis. Epididymis is a place where temporary storage of the sperm occur, and epididymis goes into that of the vasa deferens. You can see it is a tube-like structure. And recall from class 11th, our genital system is combined with that of the urinary system. So you can see over here the urine is going to be collected from that of kidney by the ureter and temporarily stored into that of the urinary bladder. In the later stages, this genital tract is going to be combined with the urinary system, and you can see terminate into that of the urethra. And from urethra it comes into that of the penis, and the distal portion of the penis is referred as glans penis, which is being covered with a skin referred as foreskin. And these are the accessory glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral gland is also referred as Copper's glands. Now, come to the text section. Testes are occur in pair outside the abdominal cavity in a sac-like structure referred as scrotum. Scrotum is very important for lowering the temperature up to 2.5 degrees Celsius, which is essential for the synthesis of the sperms. Now come to the dimension of the testes. They are oval in shape, measures about 4 to 5 centimeter in length and 2 to 3 centimeter in width. The outermost covering of the testes formed by a dense fibrous membrane called tunica albuginea. Now come to inside of the testes. Testes is divided into 250 compartments. These are tube-like compartment referred as testicular lobules. Each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules known as seminiferous tubules, meant for the production of the sperms. Each seminiferous tubule are lined by two highly specialized cells, that is male germ cell, spermatogonium, that is mother cell, and Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are the nursing cells. Now, spermatogonia are going to produce sperm by the meiotic division. Sertoli cells are the nurse cells, provide all sort of nourishment to the developing germ cells. The region outside the seminiferous tubule contains a masses of cells. These cells are referred as what? interstitial cells or Leydig cells. The Leydig cells going to synthesize and secrete male hormone, that is androgen, testosterone, which is very crucial in maintaining uh, male sex characteristic. Now you can see seminiferous tubules are here, and the lining of the spermatogonia and Sertoli cell is quite visible, and you can see the interstitial cells, which are also referred as Leydig cells, going to produce androgen, that is testosterone, which is very crucial in maintaining male sex characteristic. You can see the developing spermatozoa as well. This diagram is also very important from the CBSE point of view. You have to practice this diagram at least thrice, so you have a clear cut understanding about the seminiferous tubule. Now come to the accessory duct section. Accessory duct section, seminiferous tubule open into the vas efferents through retitestes, and several vas efferents open into the epididymis. Epididymis is a long, coiled, tube-like structure present at the posterior end of the testes. It continues as the vas deferens that ascend into the abdominal loop, that is urinary bladder. Epididymis going to store the sperm in a non-motile and immature stage. The duct from seminal vesicle and vas deferens together from ejaculatory duct. They pass through the prostate gland and join to the urethra. They carry secretion of seminal vesicle and sperms from the testes to the outside of the urethra. Urethra originate from the urinary bladder and extend through the penis to its external opening called urethral meatus. And it carries urine from the bladder and sperms from the vas deferens to the penis. Now, accessory glands. These are prostate glands, seminal vesicle, bulbourethral glands. They are going to produce seminal plasma, okay, which is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. You have to understand the composition, that is fructose, calcium, and certain enzyme. Now, look at the sectional view through the male pelvis. You can easily notice the testes which is being stored into the sac-like structure, which is referred as bottom, and here you can see the vas deferens going into the urethra. You can see this opening, and here the urinary bladder is here, ureter is here, which is carrying urine from the kidney, and you can see seminal vesicle, and here this section is the ejaculatory duct, which terminated along with the vas deferens. Okay, and this is rectum section. Anus is here. Bulbourethral gland you can see here. This is the sectional view from the pelvis. Now come to the accessory glands. These are prostate gland, seminal vesicle, bulbourethral gland, or Copper's glands. Prostate glands, it surround the urethra and produces milky secretion, which forms considerable part of the semen. Okay, semen is a fluid kind of thing in which sperms float or move. This secretion contains citric acid, lipids, and enzyme. Secretion of prostate gland going to nourishes and activate the spermatozoa to swim. Okay, seminal vesicle. These secrete mucus and alkaline fluid. This is very important point. They are going to secrete alkaline fluid, which contain fructose for the nourishment of the developing sperms. Now come to the bulbourethral gland. As the word suggests, they are meant for the lubrication of the penis, and they secrete mucus. Now come to the external genitalia. It is the male copulatory organ having erectile tissue and vascular spaces. When the male is sexually excited, these spaces fill with blood, causing the penis to erect. The distal end of the penis is called glans penis. The glans penis is covered with a smooth skin called foreskin or prepuce. That's all. Thank you.